Those of information, I said what I've been, as I mentioned, whatever information I had is already public knowledge in my speeches in Parliament. And I focus on the question that there are those who say we are dealing with the elephant's carcass rather than the elephant, miss the elephant in the room. The elephant in the room is the 1MDB, and talk about the real lesson of the Bank Negara forex losses is that the major stakeholders, the ministers, the top civil servants, the parliamentarians, even the press, have failed to uphold the principle of good governance and accountability. Otherwise, we won't have ended up with this bank forex losses, and that's the lesson we must learn from the 1MDB. Are we going to wait for 25 years before we have a special task force on the 1MDB carcass? And I said that is what we should be focused on. What I stand by everything I've said on the Bank Negara forex losses, and I still call for a Royal Commission inquiry. The more urgent thing is what do we do for the present elephant in the room, which is the 1MDB kleptocratic scandal, which has given Malaysia the infamy of a global kleptocracy. So I think that's more important, more urgent. They must learn from this lesson, and so that's that lah. And they asked me a few questions, and basically is that lah. Okay.
Was it short because they were already satisfied with everything you gave them, or do they intend to?
Because I said that what I know is in my speeches in Parliament, and I don't have any special involvement in the forex losses. Okay.
So Tun M terlibat tak dalam ni?
Yeah.
So Tun Mahathir tu bersalah ke tak dalam?
Sorry. Apa?
So Tun Mahathir terlibat ke tak dalam forex ni?
No, I don't know.
Itu tidak ditimbulkan tadi.
Tak timbul. Okay.
Well, did they say they were calling you up again?
Well, I don't think so, because I have nothing to... They're calling the wrong person. Okay? They should be calling the top civil servants, the ministers, and as I mentioned, Najib at that time was a key minister. No, only Najib, at that time parliamentary secretary of Ministry of Finance. He is now the Minister for International Trade, Dato' Mustafa. And you have another MP who was at that time parliamentary secretary to the Ministry, the Prime Minister's Department, Osman, the Pendang MP. What did they do? What did they do to uphold the principle of accountability and good governance? And I said I will find myself in a very anomalous position, as if I should not be in the dock, because a vindication of my speeches in Parliament. So I think we must not miss the elephant in the room. Otherwise, we had to wait for 25 years before we deal with the carcass of 1MDB.
So maybe you will call up because of the speeches that you have made?
I presume so, yes.
Maybe actually how many times you brought the issue dalam
1993 and 1994. In 1993 and 1994, and it's important that at that time at least we could debate in Parliament. We could there were two debates in Parliament in 93, 94, and which is very different from today. Today we can even ask questions on 1MDB. So we are going backwards. We are not going forwards. And the 1MDB scandal, as we can see, happening every day, getting more and more monstrous, getting more and more requiring accountability and explanation.
Sorry,
but you cannot ask these questions.
If we could clarify how many questions were raised just now in the meeting?
No, a few questions were raised. A few questions were raised. Okay? Thank you.
Thank you.